beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. Happy Memorial Day, you guys. I know I said it in my last review, but it's actually Memorial Day, so happy Memorial Day. Hope you guys had some barbecue, enjoy your day off and all of that. But we are here to talk about, I was going to say love and hip hop, knowing good and well I don't do love and hip hop, nothing. Basketball lives. So let's get into it. All right, episode started off with Jackie going to see Angel Brinks at her store. She's in there working, measuring some lady who doesn't look like she would really like her fashions. I don't know. She didn't look like she was the over blingy type. And as we know, even at work, Angel Brinks is over blingy. Like, it's just too much. She's too gaudy. It's too much. But she tells Jackie that she's supposed to be styling the NBA. And I'm like, what do you mean? The dancers, cheerlead? Like, who are you styling? And I'm a little scared because, once again, we know how her fashions look. And I'm not saying she's terrible at it. I'm just saying the stuff she comes up with, it's not great. No, I'm just playing. I'm just saying that, she likes to show a lot and everything. So I would be interested in seeing what she comes up with and for whom, because I don't know that I believe her. Then we get to British, and her daughter's coming home. She's going in between British and Lorenzo. So British's mom brought the daughter. She's an adorable little girl. What's her name? Dash, I think. So cute. And she ran right past her mom. I'm like, girl. So the grandmom was like, you didn't miss your mom? You want to give your mom a hug or anything? So she's talking to her mom about Lorenzo, and I thought it was funny when her mom was like, "Ooh, I'm sick of Lorenzo." But they're talking about how he was doing fine until he felt like British was dating someone, and she's like, "Yeah, he goes crazy when I try to date, although he's been dating." Girl, you sound crazy. You sound just absolutely bananas that you would let somebody dictate what you're doing and y'all not even together. And I feel like she keeps saying it because she said it a billion times and a billion times in this episode, how much he will not let her date. Like it's cute. Oh, it shit ain't cute. It's just not cute. Like, if you doing you, I'm gonna do me, and I need you to stay out of my business. For real. Like, for real, for real. It's not funny. And so apparently he's coming out in another week or so, and she's asking him what hotel he's staying at. He's like, whichever one you paying for. So I guess he got jokes or whatever. But he wants to stay there, of course. And she's like, nah, you're not staying at my house. So her mom asks, are you happy without him? Are you happier? Or, what do you think, with or without him? And she said without him. And yeah, some people are just better off as friends. Like, really. Like all of my exes, no, I'm not friends with them all anymore. But yeah, some people are just better off as friends. All right, next we get together with Brandy, Duff. It was a Duff or Duffy? I can't remember, but British and Jackie. And when they first sit down, first of all, I strongly disagree with what British is wearing. She's wearing this Burberry, super tight, too tight, need to go up a size. I don't like it. I feel very offended by it. Outfit. And as soon as they sit down, I also don't like Duffy's hair, you guys. Yeah, it is Duffy. I don't like her hair. This yellow, and y'all know what was it, last episode I said she could pull off pretty much anything. But no, not this yellow with two ponytails. I don't like it. But as soon as they sit down, y'all, some huge bug. And I'm sorry, I would have been like Jackie. I can't stand bugs. I'm going to lose my shit. So they asked her, what was it? She said, it was a bee, bug, and a bird. I was like, that is the funniest thing Jackie has ever said in her life because it wasn't a bee. It was green. It was humongous. And where they at? Oh, they in Atlanta. Atlanta. What y'all got going on out there? All right, so Duffy decides she wants to do a meat market mixer so that she can set up her single friends and bring some single guys or whatever. And you guys, Jackie must be going through the change because Mama is running around with this little personal handheld fan in every episode. And I mean, okay, but do she want people to know? Like, is she is she really struggling to that extent, or does she want people to talk about it? Because if she don't want nobody to talk about it, we ain't gotta talk about it. But it's obvious something's going on with her. Her personal summers are lasting very long. But she's just all in British's business again because British is like, can't wait for the party. And Jackie's giving her a look. She's like, well, what's up with that, Jackie? Jackie's like, well, he came to Paris to profess his love for you, and I love y'all together. I don't care. Because if I can remember correctly, what was it, a couple years ago, maybe, because these years are flying by. But remember on Instagram, I don't know if y'all know, but he put her on blast where he was on Instagram live like selling her bags or whatever because they got into it and just being mad disrespectful. And I just feel like some things you can't come back from. I'm sorry. And yeah, they have to co-parent, that's fine, but no, all that, oh, y'all should be together. Jackie should mind her business. She really should. All right, so then we have Malaysia and her kids coming back home, and well, to their new home, their new apartment rather. And Malaysia's kind of telling them, we never lived in an apartment. They're used to a humongous, house or whatever. And she's telling them there's people under you and everything, so you can't really be jumping around. And she's like, well, we gotta hurry up and get out this apartment, and I gotta find a place. We already know you're not moving to Atlanta for real. I mean, what was it? California, or whatever, for real. So you could stop. Y'all can live in the apartment for a little while you're filming. It's okay. But her kids were fine. Whew. Then we have this moment with Jen, you guys, and Jen is my girl. I don't know. I've just always had a soft spot for Jen ever since, what was it, season 2 or 3 or whatever, when she and Evelyn had fallen out and she had really wanted to get back, good with Evelyn. She said she didn't like Ocho on an interview or whatever. And I understand what Evelyn was saying. You my girl, you supposed to kind of suck that up and don't really put that out, even if you don't like him. I get it, but look at what happened. He's a jerk. So, okay. She kind of alluded to it, actually. She didn't even say she don't like him. She just kind of like, eh. But anyway, I just felt like she was treated very, very badly. And yeah, I ain't like it. So I've always liked Jennifer. Um, but she's having a moment where she's like, she lost somebody and she's really missing this person. I thought she was talking about her mom, but she's talking about her dog slash her mom. All right, you guys. So I had to record this part over again because before it wasn't very loud because I started getting emotional because on this segment with Jennifer and Angel and Jackie going to the medium, it was very emotional. So and I felt very bad for Jen, and unfortunately, I am still trying to figure out a loss and everything. So still gets emotional. So anyway, we're just gonna go past that because I am not trying to get emotional. But her, they went to the medium. The medium had these things in her hand. She said that if they cross up, that means yes. If they don't, it means no. Is Gia in the room? Yes. And then the medium's like, oh, well, did she used to run from one place to another place? And Jennifer's like, yes. And I'm like, it's a dog. So they actually could have went for any dog. Of course, she probably ran from one place to another place. But anyway, she also said that her mom was there and her mom saw somebody giving her a ring. Jennifer got really emotional, saying that, her mom more than likely really does want her to get married so that she wouldn't be alone. So it was very, very emotional. And yeah, we're done with that. All right, so then we have British and Lorenzo again at a little play area with the daughter. So evidently he made it out there, and they are arguing again about how he's able to date whoever he wants to. And when she was dating someone, he was stalking her and, texting her stuff like, what do you have on? You look like a hoe and all that. I don't care. I just don't care about them. So I'm going to fast forward. Yeah, so then we get a scene with Jackie, Brooke, and I was just talking about her, Jennifer, and they're getting like the Yoni steam or whatever it was. But y'all, Jackie is gonna make sure she's in every single scene. I'm like, okay, Jackie, get your money. But Jennifer is talking about, her past loves and everything. And she's talking about how her ex husband threw a drink in her face, and yet I was ignorant as all get out with his ugly self. I mean, he was just, you couldn't even call him not too cute or unattractive. He was just so ugly because he was ugly on the inside and out. And what was going on with that? Let me shut up. Okay, let's move on. She said her next boyfriend was a stalker who she had to get a restraining order against, and that would be Tim. And she's like, and he's now in jail. And again, when all that happened with Tim, I was very happy that, Jennifer was okay because she had to get a restraining order. She kept telling everybody how crazy he really was, and nobody wanted to believe her. And yeah, anything could have happened to her, really, because once again, if he would set up his own nephew to be killed, this man is crazy. Like, something's wrong with him. So thankfully, Jennifer is still here and she's okay. And then she said her last boyfriend, which I forgot about. I don't think we ever saw him, but I did hear about him stealing her Range Rover. It's not funny, but he borrowed the Range Rover or whatever and just never brought it back. How shitty is that? Poor Jennifer. And I think she's so pretty, you guys. I think Jennifer's so pretty. Um, but yeah, so Brooke is saying how she got some people for her to meet at this party, so they're all looking forward to it. So then we have Zell the monster. Shout out to Forest Rocks. We got Zell the monster meeting up with Malaysia, and she's saying how she's looking for a pop-up shop, yada yada yada. They get to talking about Brandy. Of course, she's saying how she feels like Brandy is trying to take her there, and because she know that she will get out of character, and she really wants her to get out of character. And he's like, "Nah, I don't get out of character." You guys, I didn't understand why they brought him back to this show anyway, because when he was on the last time, it was just not a good cross up. He was very ignorant. He just did not, he was very loving hip hop for real. And we gonna get to what he said about Jennifer. I never forget about what he said about Jennifer. It's so rude. And even if it's real, like we don't know if it's real or not, but even if it's real, it's not the type of stuff that they say on this show. That's the type of stuff y'all might say on Love and Hip Hop, but that's not like, yeah, I just felt like it was kind of rude of them to bring him back on this show, really, because she's an OG. Feel however you want to feel about Jennifer. She's an OG. Um, but anyway, they're talking about how, Brandy has been trying to talk to him and she's been like, come by. And I guess he's not answering her because he's like, I don't want her trying to, use me as a go between and this and that. And then they say something about the fact that him and her got into it a year ago and they haven't really spoken. So, I, okay. Anyway, he shouldn't be on the show anyway. All right, so we're at this little meat market mixer, and all the girls come in. They look cute, except Jackie. She got on a too tight Burberry as well. I'm like, everybody, I just feel like y'all need to go a size up in Burberry or something. But I mean, I guess she got what she wanted. It's a button down. She had it unbuttoned so you could see her boobies, and they were like hanging out. So I guess that's what she wanted, but it didn't look cute to me. She just had on some jeans and a Burberry shirt, and everybody else was kind of dressed. I mean, they look cute. But British is telling how some girl DM'd her and said that Lorenzo and her are in a domestic partnership in LA or something. I don't know. But she ended up putting him on her benefits and insurance and all that. Just ridiculous. So, again, do we really care about British and Lorenzo? We really don't. So of course all the girls got a kick out of that. So we sit down and we just constantly going through all these goofy guys and the girls are just out of control. Like Jennifer's the only one that's not being super loud and annoying. Like really, who's being super loud is Jackie. She's so freaking loud. I want to say Brooke was right along with her and they were just acting so childish. Like, oh my God. So they're drilling all these men. None of the men were really good. Except one. He looked decent. He looked very familiar though. So I'm like, is he from another show or something? Like he looked very familiar with the little gray beard. The one that Jennifer actually liked. The one that was Brooke's friend. But yeah, so it's just a bunch of nothing that happened really. And then we get to Lorenzo walking out. And he comes out and she's like, what are you doing here? This and that. He's playing with her, even though, yeah, it was rude, but you could tell he was playing with her. I raised you up or whatever. And because Jackie's like, I love you guys together. You were together since you were young. He's like, yeah, I raised you. He's playing. Once again, she stands up and just goes off on him in front of everybody. Just like, you do this, you do that, and you must think I'm stupid and I'm 31 now and I got this and that and I don't need, like, really, really going in. And all these guys and women just sitting there watching. And I'm like, girl, he was playing with you. Like, Jackie had him come here to do this scene, and I'm sure this is not what he was expecting. Now, could he deserve it? Because I feel like he's a jerk. I felt like he was a jerk when they were on before. Yeah, true. I mean, he probably did, but it just wasn't the time, the place, and I felt like they're kind of in a decent co-parenting place. So why would you want to mess that up? So he just very nicely said, "All right, I'm gonna go, and I'll get in contact with you to pick up Dash." Like, he was not about it. He wasn't arguing with her. He wasn't going back off on her or anything. So I just felt like that was ridiculous. Then we get to Zell. Zell and Brandy comes in, and not Brandy, and Malaysia. They come in, and of course she's going around saying hello to everybody except Brandy. He's saying hello to everybody except Brandy. He sits down where the men were sitting that were being grilled. So they're like, "Oh, well, let us ask you questions. Let us ask you questions." They're asking him stuff. What do you do? I do me. Ugh. And Jennifer is on her phone. Jackie's like, "Don't be on your phone, Jennifer." And I'm like, don't Jackie know the history? She was there. If I know the history and I remember the history, why don't you remember the history of what he said? Um, and she's just like, she don't see it for him. And he's like, oh, well, if you mad because I said your breath stink or whatever, if you got your teeth cleaned and, your breath don't stink no more or whatever, then I apologize. And she's like, we're good. And I'm like, again, why is he here? I mean, that sort of ignorance is just blatant. It's ridiculous. We used to just like regular shade, fun shade, regular shade. All that is just, ugh. And then he's just a monster for real. So she says to, I think, Brandy and them that she felt like Malaysia did it on purpose, bringing him there because she knows that they don't get along. And I'm like, yeah, Malaysia did it on purpose to get under a few people's skin. I don't think it was Jennifer though. So Brandy takes it. Is it Brandy? Somebody, I think it was British maybe, went over to the bar where Malaysia was and was like, yeah, Jennifer thinks you brought him to get under her skin because you know the history and everything. So Malaysia just turns around, which is the one thing that I like about Malaysia. Not gonna lie. She will confront something head on to try to just either nip it or, get it out there. So she goes to Jennifer and she says, look, Jennifer, I did not bring Zale to get under your skin. I didn't bring him here for you. And Brandy's like, no, you brought him. You brought him for me. You brought him here trying to get on, under people's skin. You know you did. So then we get this whole thing of her and Brandy going back and forth. Her and Brandy going back and forth, and it was so many smiles, so many that once again I don't know what I believe here. I don't know. They were smiling so much. I mean, not Brandy. Brandy wasn't smiling, but Malaysia with her smiling, and I try to remember that Malaysia has this uncomfortable smile that she does all the time anyway. But I don't know, something about it still. Even the girl, the random, who's gonna have lines next week. She actually had lines this week. She asked a couple questions, and I'm like, random girl, who are you? And she was trying to pull what's her name? She was trying to pull Brandy off, and Brandy's like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." And then the girl's all backing up, smiling, and I'm like, "Girl, if you're gonna act on this show, I need you to like really act. Try to put it in." So yeah, I still don't know. Lots of acting, lots of everything. So they go in the hall, and once again, they're going at it again. Now, why they put Brandy and Malaysia and Jackie in the hall together to talk, I don't know. But they started putting hands in the face or whatever, and ain't nobody thinking about you and this and that. So, oh crap. Sorry guys, that was my alarm. But we have Duffy coming into the hallway to talk to Malaysia. Jackie is always right there, you guys. Jackie don't move from the drama. So anytime people are talking, Jackie's there. So she comes and she's asking Malaysia what's going on. You know, Brandy said you brought him here to get at her or whatever. And she's like, how did I bring him here to get at her when she's been trying to talk to him? She's like, well, she said that she hasn't talked to him in over a year and they're not speaking and you brought him. And Malaysia's like, well, she's been trying to talk to him. She keep calling him. She keeps saying, come see my kitchen, come do this. So obviously she's not mad. And Duffy's like, well, I didn't know all that. I didn't know all that. So finally, Malaysia gets to the nitty gritty, you guys, which we knew was there. We knew that obviously this whole thing with her dad wasn't what it stemmed from. Like, this was not what happened to them and what they fell out about. That's something that just happened. What did Brandy say, like 3 months ago or whatever? They haven't spoken in like 2 to 3 years. So something else made them fall out. Finally, Malaysia says she was upset because, well, Brandy was upset because she felt like Malaysia didn't stand by her when she was losing her job. So when they fired her on the show or from the show, Malaysia, I don't know what she wanted Malaysia to do. And Malaysia said that too. I can't, you know, number one, I can't leave my job just because you're getting fired. I'm sorry, but I got to make money. And number two, I can't tell them to, not fire you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So if that's the reason why they fell out, which it probably is, it sucks. But what could Malaysia do really in that instance? But that was the show, you guys. So if you are still here, I appreciate you. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you'll know when I upload. Y'all, I'm trying to say, what I'm supposed to say for real. But thank you. If you are still here, again, you are the real MVP, and I appreciate you. I really do. I'll see you guys in the next video. Smooches.